Good morning, everyone. It is the last Sunday of June. We are about to go on a little bit of a garden tour since it's been almost a month already since you've seen what's been happening. And we're going to do a little bit of a tour, a little bit of a harvest. We're going to show you some flowers, and we're going to show you how the tomatoes and peppers are doing and how everything's growing. So let's go for a walk to the backyard garden. Oh, so here's my little harvesting tools for the day. Wanted to give you a quick look at this crazy basil that's been growing. It's going to seed, so I'm going to have to actually, I should have been processing this a long time ago actually. I haven't really processed any of it yet. I've just been eating it fresh. And oh my goodness, I just took the seed pod off and it is already so fragrant just from touching it. A quick tour that I wanted to give you before we actually get into the vegetable garden is look at our amazing daylilies. This one here, I think, it's so hard to pick a favorite. Oh my goodness, I just love these flowers. But within the next few weeks, this entire area just turns into a sea of mixed colored daylilies. And I'm so happy that we created this area. When the lilies first came, we didn't really know where we wanted them to live. So I planted them here, and this is where they've been for several years now, and they're doing really, really well. So I'm just gonna pan around a little bit, show you some really beautiful butterfly bush flowers. These to me are amazing because they are definitely pollinators' flowers. Like the butterflies come, they love it. The hummingbird visits this bush every single night and early in the morning as well. Can they be messy? A little bit. I mean, they come back every year and they need to be pruned. It's just like anything. We take care of ourselves every day. We have to maintain things. If we want to attract pollinators to our garden, we have to grow things that they want. We have to take care of it. We have to groom it. We have to make sure that the butterflies want to come to it. The last thing you want is a garden where nothing wants to live because it's either full of pesticides or you don't have enough variety. So we are working on variety and we're working on attracting as many pollinators as we can. Now, these crazy petunias and these marigolds, we did not plant here. They self-sowed, the birds carried them over, and we're just letting them be because the marigolds keep away the detrimental insects, and the petunias, we're just letting grow wild because they attract the pollinators. So we have to let everything be happy. This is Shoma, our blood good Japanese maple. Shoma meaning reaching for the truth. She is just my heart. And our Hassani, also another variety of blood good maple. She was here when we moved in. We just love this tree. So that's just a few of the flowers that are growing. These are all the butterfly bushes that are starting to peek over the top of the fence line because we are looking for not just a place for our pollinators to come, but we're hoping for just a little bit of extra privacy along the top of the fence. You can see in the back there, I'll be going back, that butterfly bush that is another color has a lot of beautiful paler purple flowers on the top. So lots going on. We have some random Stelladora daylilies that self-sowed. We don't know where they came from. And I don't think I've ever showed you this pot full of hens and chicks. But this is a pretty cool perennial that it propagates so heavily, and I never took it out of this pot, and I really should because it's such a happy plant and it will spread wherever you grow it, and it likes rocks and heat, so it's really good for dry conditions. These are some of our Shasta daisies coming up next to the pond, which we really love. And over here, as I walk by to the garden every day, these will be more beautiful, gigantic yellow lilies that are about to open. More Shasta daisies. They self-sowed. They seem to like it here by the pond. We also have some coneflower that's self-sowed and is finally starting to open up. This is a pot of marigolds, zinnias, and beautiful cosmos that I planted from seed. And I think this is called candy corn or candy sugar cosmos. I'll have to get the name for you. These zinnias are dying back already, but they were really, really beautiful. And of course we have the beautiful, amazing gray poppy. Really putting on a show. This is an absolutely gorgeous flower. I'm so happy that we added it to our garden. So we're going to start over to this area of the first garden now, where we're actually growing food. And check out how many of these lilies opened up, guys. I showed you these a while back. We transplanted them last year. They're really showing up. This is an older day lily that's been on this property for many years. I was here when we bought the house, and I had explained it wasn't doing really well where it was. And so we took one of the last ones and we split it up, and now it's happily growing. So we'll be able to split them again and spread them around the property some more. So here we are at the first garden, and the Chadwick cherries that I keep showing you. Look how big they are growing. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait. I'll tell you, I actually don't eat very many tomatoes, but this little tomato, you can get maybe 2 bites out of it, or if you have a bigger mouth, you can just get 1 bite, but it's all good. I just loved this tomato last year. It was so sweet, and when it was mixing in my salad with vinegar and oil, it almost created like a Catalina dressing. It was so delicious. So we'll be harvesting them soon. I do think they will be ripening up. Over here, the cucumbers are doing really, really good. They're staying pretty healthy. This is a new variety called the Burpless Beauty, and I'm waiting. There's some little tiny babies on there. But over here, we're going to get our first harvest. And I have one nice big cucumber. John, would you please come and cut this cucumber for us?
Sure.
Just cut it at the top right about here. Now, yep, that's good. Now, this cucumber would actually get probably another 3 or 4 inches bigger. But because this is the first cucumber harvest from this bush, I'm taking it off so it doesn't just suck all the life out of the plant. So if you just put that in the basket, you can see, I'm going to show everyone that we actually have some more babies of this growing. Really beautiful. And we're also going to harvest this big boy here. Maybe it's a big girl, we don't know. But it's an absolutely beautiful cucumber, guys. This is our first cucumber harvest of the year. Amazing. We just love this. Look, here's a baby. Still got its flower on it. I hope this comes through as beautiful in video as it does here in person. And you know, you can always find out yourself if you just plant a cucumber plant and you watch how it grows, because you get the beautiful glory of seeing the flowers from it and the fruit. This is our different variety of basils that are growing happily. And again, this lemon basil, you guys, if you have never tried lemon basil, you need to try it because the fragrance from it is incredible. Delicious on pasta with a little bit of aglio. This beautiful purple opal basil is very fragrant and delicious, never bitter. But it's all really worth trying. Basil is so easy to grow.
Grow it in a pot.
So, yep, you can grow it in a pot. You can grow it in the garden, right into the ground. This is the Whopper cucumber. I keep saying Parks Whopper because I'm always excited to talk about the Parks Whopper tomato. Whopper cucumber, grown by Chef Jeff's. They seem to be taking over the market, and I'm seeing them in a lot of places. They're equivalent to like Bonnie's, but the farm stands are actually using them more and more. So this I grew, I think this is the 3rd year I've grown this now, and it's a big giant cucumber. It's absolutely amazing. These are the Marketmore 76 that I've grown from seed, and there are some tiny babies on here. And actually, I found a few last night that were, yep, there they are. This is not something that you want where your cucumbers are laying on the ground, but I have to leave them there because they're tight on the bottom of the vine and nothing seems to be eating them. So I'm just going to leave them be until they're ready to come off. These tomato bushes here are volunteers. What does it mean when you have a volunteer? It means that tomatoes fell off of the plant last year, the seeds broke down into the ground, and it generated plants all by itself this year. I did not have to buy them, I did not have to baby them, we did nothing to them. These will bear bite-sized cherries so prolifically that you will get containers and containers off of just one plant. So we're letting them, we're just letting them grow. And I know that we're gonna have another variety of tomato. So everything's looking really, really good here. We love this. So now we're gonna walk back to the main part of the garden. There's a lot happening back here. This cultivar of strawberry didn't do great this year. Again, we got these from Norse up in Massachusetts. Now, they did good, don't take me wrong, but people are saying that your first year you get some, but not as many as you get in your second year. So it did give us harvestable fruit. I'm still on the fence about the green stalk vertical garden. I don't know if we should have just gotten the original one. This is the leaf, so the little pocket is a little bit more shallow than the original version. It has less pockets or sections for you to plant in, but the pockets are bigger and deeper. And the strawberry root is actually very, very long, and it needs deep soil in order to drink properly. The giant blueberries, these are Duke blueberries. They are really happy, and it looks like we'll probably be harvesting some of those later on today. Really gorgeous. The blackberries are really doing good. So I can't wait. This will be our first time harvesting blackberries, and there's just a ton of them. So this is exciting. This guy here, ready to pop, is borage. And borage works as a trap crop, and it also works to pull up nutrients from the soil. And we planted it next to tomatoes also. It supposedly does something to affect the sweetness of the tomato, so we're going to find out this year. And check this out. This is the cornfield, guys. Amazing. It's really, really happy. We are now passing the vegetative state, which is your V sections. If you remember one of the last videos we did, we can link it below. We were waiting for V6 and V8 to happen, which is your vegetative state, meaning it's growing all of its leaves and its straps, and it's building a little house for the corn to grow in, okay? So when it gets tall enough that it's past 8 sections, it goes into its reproductive cycle. Now, if you look at the difference in height, the corn in the back was planted at the same exact time as the corn in the front. That corn back there is after over 8 sections, so it will be producing tassels. Those tassels are little seed pods. They have to get pollinated so that the tassels will become silk, and at the end of the silk is your actual kernel of corn on the cob. And it's amazing just watching the life cycle of corn and what it does. So this relies on something to pollinate it, whether it's the birds, the bees, the wind, and if you don't have any of that, you can always come in and shake it around, and it's easy enough to pollinate. Now, something that's an amazing story. This whole little section here, like I said, it was all planted at the same time, and this corn is so much taller. Even though we think that maybe this might be a little bit stunted because we did have a big storm come through a few weeks ago, and it was actually a tornado that went over the area, and this good bit of this corn was laying down on its side in a spiral shape. It was crazy. This section back here didn't get affected by that storm, but also early this year, or at the end of last year, we lost all of our koi. and I had to bring some of them back and bury them. It was very sad, and I buried them back here in this section of earth. And don't you know, this corn is rising to the sky so beautifully. I really think that the fish fed this corn, so this is very special to me, and I will make sure that when we harvest this corn and eat it, that it's a celebration of gratitude, because it means so much to me. So, but anyway, here is our amazing zucchini forest. It is doing really, really good. We have tons of flowers. The strangeness about zucchini, I don't get it. This year, both of these plants in here are really only producing female flowers. There's no zucchini in there yet. But this guy here has male and female flowers, and we've taken a few zucchinis off of that one already. And these guys here, there are 2 plants in each circle that I planted seeds, and this is what we have. So we will be harvesting zucchini from here. Now it's going to rain tomorrow, so that's when they'll really probably grow. And this is amazing because you can come out today and they'll be this big and they're not really quite ready, but I'll come out tomorrow and they'll be gigantic after a good rain. So I'm just going to back up this way, and come on guys, will you just look at these petunias? Now, I had explained before that we did not intentionally plant these petunias this year. Last year we sowed some seed just to see if we could attract some pollinators, and they didn't do great. They did produce a few petunias, but this year they just showed up, and it's really unorganized and messy. And I didn't plan for it to be this way, but I'm just letting it go because these petunias are where they want to be. And you know what they're giving me? An opportunity for my pollinators to come feed. It's attracting bees, hoverflies, all sorts of stuff. And they come. It's very fragrant. They're attracted to it. And then they move off to the other flowers on the other fruit and they pollinate that for me. So it's a win-win situation. We get beautiful flowers and they get to eat. This is a Kentucky Wonder pole bean grown from seed. It's doing pretty good. I'm very happy about that because I made a mistake. And in another video, I'm going to talk to you about how I failed at growing beans this year. But the petunias are just so polarizing, I can't take my eyes off of it. These are our different varieties of eggplants. I have Rosita, Casper White, and Nagasaki Long. They look a little sad and pitiful because their leaves were like Swiss cheesed. And we think it was either from flea beetles or possibly this little gray grasshopper that we discovered. Nonetheless, something loves eating the leaves. However, we did discover that we do have flowers on them. They are starting to bear fruit. So if you've ever wondered how an eggplant grows, it actually grows out of the base of a flower. So it's really cool to watch the life cycle and how most things start with a flower and then become a fruit. But will you just look at her? All of these tomatoes I grew from seed. A majority of them are from Baker's Creek Heirloom Seeds in Missouri, and you guys should really check out their website. They are called rareseeds.com, and you will find all sorts of stuff like this amazing Borghese Principale grape tomato, which I have spotlighted before. They are absolutely prolific bearers of a very sweet and dense little cherry or grape tomato that is wonderful to make tomato paste with. You can make roasted tomatoes, you can put them in your salad because they're still edible raw. They just cook up really well. Can you see this? Oh, look at that color. That's nasturtium I grew from seed. And this is buckwheat. It's a pink variety of buckwheat. And again, we have the buckwheat in here because it promotes critical and essential nutrients that get pulled up from the earth to feed the tomatoes and support their own natural immune system so that they can fight off diseases and anything that might assault them. Oh my goodness, lots of buzzing happening out here today. It's the heat of the day. We really shouldn't even be out here right now, but I couldn't resist showing you all a garden update. So we're really pretty stoked about all this. These cucumbers over here are more muncher variety. There's tiny little babies over there. I don't know what's going on with them. They're not growing great, but they're just taking their time. Now these seeds took weeks and weeks to produce flowers, but yet in this heat I put these 2 new seeds directly sowed into the ground last week, and they already produced seedlings. So I think that this variety of cucumber just requires a more extreme heat in order to propagate. So it is so hot back here, guys. This microclimate feels more like we're in the deep south. The rocks really do promote heat, and it retains the heat all through the night, and it's just it's like we're in a special greenhouse back here. These are the amazing ox heart or Hungarian heart tomatoes. Now I want you to look at the bottom of this tomato and see how it's got unique wrinkles and creases to it, and its shoulders are fluted. This tomato is going to grow to be a pound a piece. Imagine slicing into this giant tomato. I just can't wait. So I don't think I've ever talked about looking forward to eating a tomato sandwich, because I'm not really a tomato person, but I'm going to have a tomato sandwich this year, and I really just can't wait. So this was a new adventure in tomatoes for me this year with this type of variety, and I'm happy that I did it because they are really starting to show up. Also showing up, never lets us down, are these absolutely beautiful Parks Whoppers tomatoes. This is an F1 hybrid developed by Rutgers. Look at the clusters of tomatoes. Unbelievable. Now I only have 4 plants of these, but right now we have at least 100 tomatoes that will all ripen at the same time. And they'll stand pretty well. So I'll pull some of them while they're still a little green, so that we can stunt their ripening process and try to eat them in phases, because this right here, my friends, is nothing, okay? We are about to have so many tomatoes. You can bet though, I will find something to do with them. This buckwheat is alive with pollinators right now. You know, again, it's the heat of the day. Everything loves it back here. I'm so happy the bees showed up, because I was talking in another video about the indiscriminate killing while you spray chemicals into your garden to kill things, and it drifts, it kills the bees, and without the bees we have no pollinators. I mean, we have to be more mindful. I mean, we really, really do. So these are some peppers that I think I'm going to be harvesting a few of today. They are larger, thick-walled bell peppers. And while I'm on this side, trying to focus in with this bright sunshine and show you that we actually have some full-size shishito peppers that are starting to bear now. Here's the process of shishito peppers growing. Also over here, I have some jalapeno peppers. Now these have the flavor of jalapeno, but no heat, no capsaicin. They're very, very delicious. Now I'm going to actually harvest some of these peppers early. They are known to turn yellow. This is the California Golden Wonder. This is a yellow bell pepper, but because they are so big and the plant itself is a little bit small, the plant can't do everything it needs to do while it's feeding all of its nutrients into these giant peppers. So we're gonna have Farmer John over here very carefully. I think we're gonna come back to this one unless you can see its stem. I can't see its stem, so I'm gonna wait for that one.
I think they're actually twins now.
They're twins?
Yeah,
oh my goodness. Let's get this, this Keystone Resistant over here, which also almost looks
Twinned.
fused.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It looks like it grew into this one back here.
Let's snip that
Okay.
right there.
Right up top here?
Yeah, be careful of its stem.
Yeah.
goodness. Oh, so we found the split. All right, let's see what we got.
So here we are.
Oh, this is new for us this year. The Keystone Resistant is known to be a large bell pepper, very resistant of different diseases. So there's our first pepper harvest of this for the year. Let's take this guy off also. Are you able to see its stem?
I can, yes. It's back on this side here.
Listen guys, I'm talking about this, it's important because if you can't find your stem source and you look at that beautiful pepper. If you cut into the main stalk, you're gonna lose your entire plant. So we need to get these off before they scorch. Oh, here's another beautiful pepper.
I can see that one stem.
There are multiple peppers on top of each other, so it's just really, really difficult to get into everything. Let's see what we're going to get here.
Very
Be
tight.
careful.
Yep, very tight. Here we go. There we are.
Can't wait. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Mother Earth. Here, would you please put that in the basket?
Of course, yes. Thank you.
All right. There's a few more of these I'll be coming back to as we harvest because it's very hot back here and I want to be able to hold the camera as I walk with you and talk to you because the time goes by so quickly. Hey John, would you follow me over here and come harvest this beautiful giant Marconi pepper for us?
Of course. Yeah.
And come on over around to this side.
Sure.
Look at this guy. And again, we're getting to these because it's, you know, there's other peppers. Be careful up there.
Yep, right there.
Let's see. Oh, it's a giant Marconi pepper. Guys, these are so delicious. Here you go. Would you please put that in the basket?
There you go.
They are a thinner walled bell pepper. They grill beautifully, they saute beautifully, and you can even eat them raw. They're a very crispy pepper. You can do so many things with them. Now I did have a few Cubanellas in here also that I think I might want to pull a little early. Normally I let these guys, I let them stay on the vine because they start to striate, which means they get like stripy color to them, and they turn green and then yellow and then they get red stripes and they're just really gorgeous. So it's a little hard to see what's happening with them, so I'm going to come back to that. But before we start to move on, I want to just show you the Amish paste are really starting to show up here. Guys, I am sweating back here. It feels like it's well over 100 degrees already in the garden. It may not be outside, but again, we're in a microclimate. So we created this microclimate on top of a climate that really was just because we're facing south-southwest. We get, it's like we're in the south. These are the Roma tomatoes. I'm just calling them Roma, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. This is all coming from the same plant. You see these beautiful elongated tomatoes? They're going to become very long, oblong, dense meat tomatoes that are mainly used for roasting and sauce. Now, oh, hello, little love girl. You just showed up. This is our little garden friend here. Hi, Fairy. Hi, Fairy. She follows us around. This is one of the babies. There's a little family of doves that just live in the tomato bushes. I mean, you want to talk about magic and just having little magical creatures follow you around that are so peaceful. We have it right here in our backyard garden. I have to stop and look at that every time. These are, what I was starting to say before I was pleasantly surprised was, you guys, we just had equipment failure because of the heat that I was talking to you about. Anyway, I'm going to try to wrap this up. I was telling you that this is what we perceive to be the Abruzzi pear, and for some odd reason, it's growing on the same exact root structure as these smooth, elongated Roma tomatoes. We really don't know what's going on with this. We don't know what we have here. But nonetheless, we're going with it, and I'm going to harvest seeds from these plants myself this year to be sure that we actually maintain inventory of this particular seed, because these tomatoes are absolutely incredibly delicious.
It's pretty cool though that we have both.
Multiple tomatoes growing from the same plant. So
Incredible.
Back here we have some carrots that will be left to harvest. We have to get to them because the heat will get to them if we don't, and they'll become just inedible. I want to try to zoom in here real quick on pea flowers. Aren't they amazing? The birds have backed off from them a little bit, and they just come and they decimate the pea patch. And I think this happens to everyone. We should be growing them under cover, but to prevent the birds from taking over, but we're just letting them go right now because I think I'm going to take the different approach on growing snap peas next year. But here's a highlight of what's left of our beautiful lettuce garden this year. This odd weed, which we think could be a ragweed, it could be a hogwort, we don't know, but it's given shade to the lettuce, and I've had a very nice extended lettuce season. Again, this lettuce did not grow to the density that I thought it would. And if you look at the tightness of these two rows here, how nice they grew, that's how I thought all of these beautiful varieties of lettuce would grow together. However, the birds came, once again, they had their way with our garden. It was very frustrating, but we have, you know, Merlot lettuce, Great Lakes lettuce, we have the Forellenschluss. It's really, it's just incredible to come out and have fresh lettuces from your garden every day. So we will be planting more lettuce from seed so that we can have it for the fall. This is the dragon's egg cucumber, and it has been taking its time. Again, another cucumber that really just wants to grow in heat. And they start off looking like regular baby cucumbers, but then all of a sudden they become little tiny like eggs. It's really pretty cool to see a different cultivar. See that guy there? It's very hot back here, guys. It's camera work. I don't even know what it's going to look like because I can't see my screen. But anyway, this video could go on for hours and hours and hours. So if you've come this far with us on this garden tour, guys, I hope that you've taken the time to subscribe. We can't forget that we just harvested a beautiful bowl of this lettuce, and I'm going to go in and wash the heat off of that and get it chilled in the crisper so I can add it to our beautiful salad. But like I was saying, if you haven't subscribed to us yet, we really hope you will, because this channel is not just going to be about garden tutorials. It is about motivation and inspiration. It's about eating healthy and being more aware of what you're consuming and what we're doing to the earth. But this is an experience and a journey, and we really want you to be on this journey with us. So I hope that you will subscribe to our channel. Please like this video. It does make a difference to us for our algorithms, and we are so happy every time we see a new subscriber. We're so happy when we see someone like the video. It means something to us. So thanks for enjoying this patch of earth, guys, that we are shepherds of, and we steward this earth and this garden here, and it's so important. We have found immense peace back here, so we hope you'll consider growing something. It doesn't have to be at this scale. Even if you grow something in a pot, please try it and you will reap not only the most beautiful fruit you've ever tasted, but you will reap rewards of peace. So have a wonderful Sunday, guys. We will talk to you soon.